man, do I have a cosmic...
Stop your eyes.
Hey, what's going on?
Stop asking why.
What the?
And now, it starts to use Stop your eyes. Find me at the Cosmic Way Station. In the end, you were never even here.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we got another Fantasia Film Festival movie that was actually aired at the physical location that I was able to get access to because of the director of this movie, and that is the Paragon, which is a cosmic fantasy comedy. I just had to watch it. This is a pretty funny movie that is right up the alley, I think, for a lot of you guys here on the channel. So The Paragon is a movie about a ex-professional tennis player who has now become a tennis coach for videos because of an accident he had on a street by getting hit by a car, canceling his career as a professional tennis player. He teams up with a mysterious psychic tutor to seek revenge on the hit-and-run driver who'd hit him in this delightfully lo-fi cosmic comedy fantasy that's set in New Zealand and surrounding alternate realities of this man's life. Crazy, wild. It's cosmic. So you know I had to grab it because, you know me, I love cosmic horror. I love cosmic everything. So I love stories about time travel, dimensional warping, all of that kind of stuff, and how it all goes wrong in a way. But if you add comedy in there on top of it, it's just a winning combination for me. So Michael Dignan is actually a director and a writer. He's actually been doing a lot of work on the Power Rangers, Dino Charge, and Ninja Steel that have been out in the recent past. This is his first feature film, and he wanted to go for a lo-fi cosmic comedy, and I think he does a really good job here. Despite some minor flaws with maybe like pacing or a couple of camera shots here and there, this movie is chock full of vibes. They have an amazing score that goes along with this by Lucola, who did a really nice job of making this film seem like really important. And I don't mean that as a demeaning thing. I mean, the music is kind of like something you would see in like a super extreme sci-fi movie, and it works really well with this sort of lo-fi cosmic comedy. The comedy is going to be much drier than people might like, but I think we've gotten a lot of shows and stuff by now, and our cultures have kind of like mingled enough that I think most Americans can get it. To me, it reminds me a lot of the earlier Astron 6 movies that used to come out that even Steven Kostanski used to be a part of and helped write. So it has a lot of that kind of flair, so it has that kind of retro feel, but it's more modern in this movie in particular because essentially he's just trying to learn a psychic power to find the car that hit him, and the bizarre, crazy, absurdist things that happen along the way is pretty great. And the characters in this movie are actually pretty great too. At first you might not be able to just grasp them as a whole. I think they're sort of archetypes or stereotypes of these characters may not be the most original things I've ever seen, but they definitely nail some of the parts that they're supposed to play. The main character, Dutch, who is the tennis player, meets up with this psychic lady whose name's Lyra. He's sort of the unkempt, bittered, crass, non-believer kind of guy. And Lyra, who's the psychic, is sort of the not-so-fun, straight-laced kind of person. So the team of them together kind of has this like opposites of like Mulder and Scully and X-Files. So it kind of works out in some weird way. There aren't a huge set of characters in this, but it all kind of works together, of the characters you do get. And they do an amazing job of making this small film feel really big, which is always like a plus in my book. If you're gonna make a movie, have a big idea. Even if it's small, if you can make it feel bigger than it really is, with using tricks and like, you know, editing and all that other stuff, it goes a long way to make the viewer happy. But this movie isn't going to make everyone just laugh to shambles. You know, this is a movie that has such a dry humor. So at times, you know, I was just laughing out loud because Lyra and Dutch going at it together were really funny. And there was a couple of moments with other characters that you find out about later on that get really pretty ridiculous, and the characters do a really good job in that as well. I thought this was a really cool film. Like, the story itself is interesting enough, but throw on some comedy that hits a few times throughout the movie and is kind of situationally funny in a lot of ways without going too far and being so ridiculous. It's absurd, like, don't get me wrong, but it's absurd in a good way. And with the music pumping and all the like sort of camera tricks and like editing that they did to kind of make it feel very cosmic-y in those specific moments is fantastic. Plus, having a psychic powers movie is just kind of like the perfect conduit for a movie in a small budget level, because you can do so much with psychic powers for so little money, and it really works if you know what you're doing. And this movie does a really good job of kind of painting it in a certain way, having a few gags in the movie that use the psychic powers that are unbelievable and fantastic and funny. If you get a chance to check this out, it's coming out supposedly in like September-ish, so I'm not 100% sure what markets that's going to be in. That might change, but for now they told me to tell you guys that it is going to be out sometime in September. Hopefully you see it sooner than later, because I think it's worth a watch. I would definitely give this movie a 7.5 or even an 8. By the end of the movie, I was so charmed and endeared by it. I just really enjoyed it, and I would honestly pick up a copy of this for Blu-ray if it does come out on Blu-ray, because I'm just a sucker for cosmic stuff, and if you can make me laugh and make me endeared, I'm your fan. So congratulations to Michael and the team, everybody that did their work here, the actors. It was a really fun movie, and I like these kind of style movies that, you know, just go for it. An indie idea from nothing to something actually tangible and fun. It's not going to be the greatest comedy you've ever seen, but I think you will appreciate what I'm talking about by the time the credits roll, and you're going to want more. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the opportunity to check out this movie. Michael, appreciate that so much. I really do. Thank you so much to you and your team. I hope everyone is successful with it, and I mean that genuinely. He didn't pay me. Indie budgets don't have money to pay people like me, okay, guys? Thank you guys for coming by. I hope you get a chance to check it out. When you do, may all of your cosmic friend ties stay strong, and may the way to your waypoint be lit with cosmic magic. Thanks, and as always, long live the void.